Welcome back to Forgotten Working Class Podcast. I'm Tiffany.
I'm John.
Today we have with us Zack Rule, also known as Pitbull. Thank you for being here with us, Zack.
Hey, thank y'all for having me, man. It's a pleasure. I actually watched a couple episodes already, and I was like, oh man, I can't wait to get on here and pick
That's
y'all. Well,
Nice. Where are you calling from?
Houston, Texas. I'm calling
Okay.
from my backyard. I was messing around with I got chickens. I own a bunch of chickens, so I was in the backyard messing with the coop, stuff like that. So I got you in my little back patio.
That's awesome. I've seen you playing with them on TikTok. How
Oh,
many do you have?
yeah. That's Red. She likes jumping in my lap. She's like a little dog.
That's awesome.
Yeah, you said, come on up. Jump right up there.
Oh, she does too. She's so really, like she doesn't want to get away from people. You know what I mean? Like she's like wants you to pick her up. She's all about it.
That's awesome.
That is awesome. Cool. How old are you?
I'm 35.
Okay, you're our age.
Yeah,
I'm
I'll be 36 in October.
Very nice. I'm September.
I'll be 36 in August. Yeah.
Man, we getting up there,
getting old.
Right? Like I'm right there at the age where I'm like, I don't think I'm that old. Then I'm like, I'm that old guy kind of too, you know?
I figured out I was getting old when so back in the day, we'd all cut our exhausts off on our trucks and get wild and do stupid shit to them. And my buddy's uncle, he was the master mechanic, and he'd always tell us, you guys are idiots. Just leave it stock. Just leave it stock.
Yeah.
And now looking back, I'm like, hey, that'd be a really nice truck. What would you do to it? Not a damn thing.
Yeah.
Leave it stock.
Exactly. The
first time I said that, I said, oh boy, I'm getting old.
Oh man, I did a nobody leaves baby in the corner joke the other day, and then I was like, okay, I'm old.
And they didn't get it.
Not at all. Not at all.
Oh my goodness. So what's your relationship status?
Right now, I'm seeing somebody. I got a girlfriend.
Very nice. Okay. Yeah, we don't see any of that on social media.
So yeah. I try to, because I get a lot of love on social media, but with that being said, of course I get a lot of hate as well. And I got thick skin, so I can handle all the leg jokes, he skipped leg day and he's useless and all this other jive. But I just don't want to open Pandora's box to somebody else neither, because I don't know how she would handle that,
Yeah.
It is rough being on social media. They give me a hard time sometimes, but then I also have people who are very nice and sincere. They don't understand everybody's relationships.
Absolutely. And you have trolls too. All they're doing is just trying to get underneath your skin and just trying to get you riled up about something. But then again, I do respond sometimes. I get bored. I hit them. I try to hit them where it hurts. I like trolling the trolls every now and again, but yeah, I didn't really want to put it out there. Like every now and again, you'll see her on my stories, but I have yet to make a big post or anything like that.
Well, keep it private. Keep it simple. Keep the relationship strong.
Is right. Yeah, you don't want to. You don't want them to figure out that that's your old lady, and then the hate comments go straight to her, and it's just
right.
People are. They ain't got nothing to do on the internet.
Oh, we lost you. There you go.
You're back.
Can't hear you.
Can't hear you.
Guys, we're doing real life with everyone right now, so just hang in there. It happens sometimes.
Nope.
All right, he's going to log back in. Give us a second. Zack is super cool. It's such an honor to have him here with us. Wait till you guys hear his story. If you are disabled or an amputee, get ready for it, because he is just truly an inspiration. And you would never, you'd be, oh, here he is.
Back. Are you hearing me?
We are back. Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. All right. Do y'all know how to stop getting a phone call? Can I just put do not disturb?
No.
Yeah,
But it's
no.
all right. I was just
Yeah.
saying how we're all doing real life and things happen, and get ready to meet you because we're getting into it now.
That's what our podcast is. It's real life. This shit happens.
Yeah.
It definitely does, right? It
So,
happens every, you know.
yeah, absolutely. So I was just giving everybody a little bit about you and saying how inspirational you are. If you want to dive in, you were saying that, you miss leg day and people making jokes. What is that
Oh,
about?
oh yeah, there's people. I mean, people are going to make jokes. They're gonna. I mean, you got a lot of hate online, of course. But with that being said, it also comes with a lot of like praise and a lot of love, and you know what I mean. And to be honest with you, like I could have 50 messages a day of people making fun of my legs or saying leg jokes, but if I get one message from a fellow amputee or somebody in a wheelchair, or, like somebody like me, and saying how I motivated them to work out or get on their fitness journey, that makes it worth it to me. Honestly, that wins it 1,000 times over. So I'll take all that bullshit.
100%.
I call bullshit. Sorry, I don't know if I can cuss on here.
No, you're good, dude.
Absolutely. We're real. You're at the right place.
But
So,
yeah. I just call it, I just let it be, and I try to focus on the good you're doing and the spreading positivity and try to show the world, I guess, what an amputee is really capable of. I feel like a lot of people fall in the stereotypes, especially when they get in wheelchair bound. And I don't feel like um, I don't feel like society's limitations are my limitations at all.
you are absolutely one of a kind. And I was saying it's an honor to have you here because your strength is just unbelievable. Your mental strength, your physical strength. You're a double amputee, but you weren't born like that.
No,
Or
I was born like this. Well, I lost my legs. I got amputated when I was 2. So I mean, I say pretty much from birth, but they were deformed. They looked pretty bad off, and I was born with. I don't know if this makes any sense. I mean, for the the doctor nerds out there, I was born with my knee infused to my hip, so my left leg is just like a shin bone. Even though it looks like a femur, it's a tibia connected to my hip. Not even a femur.
Oh, wow.
interesting.
Yeah, just imagine having your shin connected right there to your hip where your femur is, and you got my leg, pretty much my left leg. So that's just the left one, and so the right one was pretty much. I mean, it was good. So I got a femur on the right leg. I'm missing both knees, so I'm a double above the knee amputee.
Okay. And so, I mean, I did see pictures of you standing up. Were you able to walk?
No, I had prosthetics. I had prosthetics real early on. Um, and then they have like this like valve, this suction valve to keep your leg on. And I was a kid, so I lost that in the 6th grade. So I went to school on my skateboard. When I wasn't walking around my prosthetics, I was on my skateboard, not even a wheelchair. So I rode around on a skateboard. So I went to school on my skateboard, and then I loved it. Like we played Duck Duck Goose, and I was doing good, and I got to roll in the hallways all fast and stuff. So I stayed on the skateboard until I didn't get a wheelchair until I was 25.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, my God, dude. That's
Yeah,
so gangster.
but pictures, any pictures you see of me back in the day or videos or anything like that, I'm usually on a skateboard because like that was just what I did. I didn't. And to be honest with you, if you would ask, what's crazy now is you would ask me back then if I would ever be on a wheelchair, I'd be like, you're out of your damn mind. There's no way. I'm gonna stay on the skateboard. But
Crazy.
That's so awesome.
yeah, I just started playing wheelchair sports. I was hanging around all the guys all the time, and I was like a little bit lower than them. And to be honest with you, it was just time to grow up. It's easier to hold a conversation with somebody when you're not so low to the ground. I would go to the club on that thing. Like I would just go everywhere on it. Like there wouldn't be a place I wouldn't go on my skateboard. I mean, even like if I needed to go through like gravel roads, I would have like a buddy pick me up or help me out, pull me, stuff like that. But like I stayed on a skateboard until I was 25.
That's incredible.
Do you ever jump back on the skateboard here and there?
Man, only when I mop the floor or like my nephews will hop on a skateboard and stuff like that. So I'll try to, be the uncle or whatever. Like I just back in my days, how I got around.
I love it. So, how many surgeries did you go through?
On my 28 leg surgeries actually, because they were, like I said, they were real bad deformed, and they were always trying to get my legs they were always trying to get my legs for proper use of prosthetics. And it wasn't until like my 28th one, after a 28th one, I was going on my 29th, they wanted to cut my right leg a little bit shorter to match the length of my left leg. And this was when I was 19, and I was like, nah, I think I'm good, dude. I'm done getting surgeries. And then, like, I was like, I wouldn't wear them anyways if I had them, because I was still on the skateboard. I was still doing good. I was in college, but I was rolling around in the hallways and on my board. And I was like, honestly, I think they would slow me down more than help me out at this point, And I was like, if it ain't fixed or if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So just kind of like left it behind, never thought about it again. And then until like, I thought like I would get prosthetics again. If I got married one day, I would want to like surprise my bride and be waiting, like standing, at the end of the aisle, something like that. But like, or if I had kids, it would be easier loading a kid in a car seat if I was walking. But that's the only time I've ever really thought of just sitting there thinking about having prosthetics again.
But I mean, we know so many who are paralyzed. And actually, there's another guy named Zack on the internet, and he has, I want to say, 3 babies, and he's paralyzed in a wheelchair, and he is operating with all 3 babies, and they are everywhere, and now they're rolling, and he's able to manage them. So, not having legs, you could do it, even on your skateboard with a baby.
Oh, yeah, I think I would definitely adapt, right? Like it would be cool. I've always been curious of what like a little me walking would look like, So like I don't know. I'm like real curious about having kids still, even though I'm getting up there in age where I'm like, oh man, I don't know.
I hope you do. You sound like a really great guy, and I bet your girlfriend feels the same.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, she thinks I'd be good with them. I mean, um, but we've never really like sat down and talked about that conversation either. It was fairly new,
Yeah.
so.
So, almost 30 surgeries between 2 and 19. That's a lot. How were the kids growing up with you? I mean, you were obviously super cool.
Man, see, this is where people like people tend to think I was maybe bullied in my younger days and stuff like that. But I mean, to be honest with you, first of all, I had the coolest friends in the world. They would never allow that type of shit. So, and then like second, like I just didn't have a problem getting bullied or anything like that. I never really got like, but I played the high school football. I crawled around on my hands, and I was on the high school football team for C. King. So in a way, I was kind of like I lived a normal life for a dude with no legs. You know what I mean? I was on the football team. I talked to chicks. I street fought. I got a viral video on World Star of me street fighting some guy.
Oh my God.
And this was like on Veterans Day, so everybody thought I was a veteran. And they had like the caption of the video was like, uh, amputee veteran sticks up to bully or something like that. Dude, it was crazy.
I have to touch base on that for a second because everybody thinks John's a veteran too. And,
Oh, yeah.
we
I get it
have
all
the
the time.
most respect for our military, and we never, want it's, I
I'll
don't
never
want to.
take credit for it. And I get it all the time. People ask me, "Oh my God, thank you for your service. Thank you for your service." And I'm like, no, 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 no,
How
no.
does it make you feel? Like, how do you react?
I rather them not assume. But like, man, it sucks. It sucks sometimes because like I want to answer. You don't understand how much I want to make your day and say yes. Like yes, it did. Like because that's what they really want. People like expect you to say like yes, I served them, yada yada yada. But it gets awkward at times. I mean, I always say like, oh man, I didn't. I'm actually just a civilian, but I take that as a compliment. I appreciate it, and stuff like that. But and that with that being said, is like people have gotten not rude, but like I've just had I had a woman, I had a woman kind of recently at Subway. She was like, "Baby, was this military?" And I was like, "No, ma'am, I was actually born like this." And she was like, "Horrible way to live, huh?" And I
Oh
was
my God, bro. I got
like,
one
"That's
for you.
bad," but
Well, that's okay.
So-
Before you go on really fast, for those of you watching this, I asked you about growing up and everything, how the kids treated you, because we want to remind everybody that sees this. If you have children, please teach them to be kind. We all want everybody to have badass friends, to be liked, to be loved, to be respected. And
yeah, you're hitting the nail on the head. And I'd rather you let your kids ask whatever they want to ask, honestly. Like, you know what I mean? Instead of like acting as if I'm a monster and being like, oh, no, like I'd rather them go ahead and get the curiosity out of the way, because like they might turn around and ask somebody who gives a crap about, that type of stuff, and like it hurts their feelings or something. It ain't gonna hurt me.
See, I do the
absolutely.
same thing. My son is 5. Well, no, he's 6 now.
Mhm.
And his class, since he's been in preschool to now he's in kindergarten, every class he's been in, once I walk in, the first thing they say is, "Where's your ear?" And
Yeah.
I always joke with them. I'm like, "Well, it's not there." "Oh, it's not there." And I'm like, "Can I have yours?" And they're like, "No, no, 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 no." But the
What?
kids, yeah,
What?
and the kids, they love it. They want to touch my skin, so they'll poke it, and then they get all, "Oh my god!" But they want to know what happened, and then I explain, electricity, and this is what fire will do too, and then they know. But I have no problem answering people or adults.
It's an
And
educational moment for everyone. So not everyone will be offended if you ask, what happened to them? Were they born this way?
but
You might get those few that are offended and don't want to talk about their situation. Maybe it was super traumatic, but for most people, it's educational.
yeah,
And I can imagine their curiosity, dude. Like, I mean, I'm not speaking of you, but like me in my case, like I'm like, okay, here's this legless dude with like pretty jacked arms, like, I mean, I'm a weird looking individual, you know what I mean? So like, I'd be like, whoa, if I was a kid too, I would want to ask questions. So I don't mind at all, but I do hate when they act like you're just like they need like 20 feet from their kids because they need to quarantine you or something.
yeah.
Right. Like, is this contagious?
I always, I'm like, baby, I'm not contagious, but you can let them ask.
So I gotta tell you, back to where the lady at Subway hit you with that one. I got one. I got one for you. So
Okay.
we were at Publix, which I don't know if you have Publix in Texas, do you?
I don't
The
think
shopping
so.
center,
It's a supermarket.
grocery store. So we were there, we're checking out, and Publix, they do hire a lot of mentally challenged, and one of them was the bag boy, but he wasn't a boy, he was a man. And we're standing there and we're checking out, and the cashiers, she kind of would glance up at me, and then this dude looks at me and goes, "Hey." I turn, I'm like, "Yeah," and he goes, "Somebody throw a grenade at your face." I was like, "What?" And completely, I completely forgot that I look like this. And I was like, "No, why?" And he goes, "Well, it looks like someone threw a grenade at your face." And I was like, "Oh shit, my scars." And I was like, "No, it wasn't a grenade." I was like, "I was electrocuted." And he goes, "Oh, well, it looks like someone threw a grenade at you." And I was like, "Yeah, you're probably right. It does, doesn't it?" The cashier woman was losing her mind. You could see she was ready to have a meltdown. She was like trying to check out everything as fast as possible. Like, get these fucking people out of here. This is so awkward now.
Oh, bro,
No, I don't care.
I can imagine you're gonna have so many stories, man. It's a cool icebreaker too. I mean,
It
what I
is.
mean?
But yeah, you get stares, he gets stares, and
All day.
again, just choose kindness, everyone.
Choose kindness. Yeah,
But
you're gonna tell all my wheelchair friends. I'm like, dude, regardless, you're gonna be the first person they look at when they step into the room. I was like, so you might as well use that to your advantage and be like, this is me, with your chest bowed out and your chin high. I was like, because you can shy away in your corner. I was like, but you know what looks sexy to a woman? I was like, is a man that's smiling when he has every reason to be frowning.
Absolutely.
You
Yep.
know, so I try to preach confidence in a chair.
Absolutely. Strength isn't just on the outside, it's on the inside too.
Absolutely, yes, ma'am. You're 100% right.
So you said you went to college. What'd you go to college for?
Kinesiology. I was just going. I didn't make it all the way through. I eventually started training and kind of just led off with that. I started training at Fitness Connection, and then opened my own personal training studio for a little bit for I think 4 or 5 years, and branched off that and had a CrossFit gym. So I was owner of the personal training studio and a CrossFit gym both, and started from there just started kind of like traveling a lot because my social media kind of started kicking up a little bit, and I was doing motivational speeches, and I kind of put the gym on the back burner. Like I wasn't there a lot. I wasn't there as much as I wanted to be, and I felt like my members could see that, and it was kind of like looking bad on our part. So I sold my shares. I sold my part and did the whole motivational speaking route for a little bit longer. And then, here I am now. I'm still personal training though. I still personal train on my off time.
Awesome.
Yeah. Motivational speaking. What kind of crowd did you do that for?
My first one was Sam Houston State University, which was crazy. That was like, it was that big, but yeah, it was Sam Houston State University. That was my first one, and from there, I got them again. They kept doing me like every yearly, and went to I've done speeches in Spain, Mexico, for a Toyota dealership, like all types of stuff now. Yeah, like of course like schools and stuff like that, but like some weird. It's honestly kind of awkward to me. Like, what companies hire you to motivate their employees? Like, you would never suspect like the ones that do. You're like, man, like really, like a Toyota dealership? What
That's crazy.
like making sales?
But it goes to show, like when you think about that, a Toyota dealership hiring you have nothing to do with cars or sales. Well, sales, you're selling yourself, but it goes to show that anything is possible. What's that?
Sounded like a prostitute.
I was gonna say it too. I was like, you whore.
Owning a gym and being a fitness trainer, you are selling yourself. You are your service.
Yeah, I know that's what you mean.
But it goes to show that even if you're a car salesman or whatever you're doing in life, it's all mentality based. If you want something, you're going to fucking work for it. No matter what you're doing, who you are, your capabilities, your disabilities, no matter what.
Yeah.
You want it, you're going to get it.
Can I ask you what have you felt like, John, what have you felt like has been the biggest challenge so far being how you are now?
Ooh.
Is it like, would you say like sleep or memories? Just like, I guess like recalculating all the memories you have, stuff like that.
So I think there's a couple different things. One, sleep has definitely been rough. It just, I don't know. And then before this even happened to me, my work schedule was so fucking crazy that I would get 4 hours of sleep a day. That was it.
Rough on the
I was up at 12:30 in the morning, and at work at 1 o'clock in the morning, and then I would get off at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and then you do it all again.
And that was on a good day. I mean, he was doing 75 to 85 hours a week.
Yeah, there was one time that something broke, and I had to sit there and fix it. And by the time I was done and clocked out, I clocked out with 22.5 hours for the day.
No, just working, man.
Yeah. So now, sleep is definitely, it's still shitty, but it's nothing that's crazy, like I can't live with. But I think the heat is what definitely was the hardest thing to adjust to.
Is it hard to get acclimated to it? Like acclimated to like different temperatures of.
So yeah, all the scarring I have, as you can see, this is hard because I'm trying to do this on camera. This right here is my original skin. That's it.
Wow.
Everything else you see is my lat muscle.
Oh my.
Out of the left side of my back.
So that's all skin grafts.
So yeah, they took the whole lat muscle out. They put that on my head. When they did it, I looked like a fucking alien. My head was like this big. I came out of surgery and she actually took a picture.
Did you ever see the pictures?
I'm standing in the mirror and my head's this big and I am all sorts of pissed off because I'm just looking at it and I'm like, this is what this is going to look like for life. And they're like, no, 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 no. It's going to shrink down. It's going to shrink down. And I was like, it better. But with all the scarring, my heat does not escape the body like it should. So here in Florida, Texas, it's hot.
Does hair try to grow past the scar, or is it stop growing?
All that's gone. So all the tissue that was on my head, like except like I said, everything else was burned off.
That's insane, dude. God, that's a lot of scarring.
Oh yeah, it goes all the way down.
So if you didn't, do you have a weak stomach, Zach?
No, I'm good.
I don't know.
Bad.
So that is how big it was with his lat muscle on out of surgery. And then about over the course of a year is when it shrank down to this.
Not even. I mean, it was like 6-7 months. It went down to this, and I was like, holy shit. They were right. It did. It shrunk down. And they were like, well, yeah, it's a muscle. And if you don't use the muscle, it shrinks. I was like, gotcha.
Hey, you still got a good shaped head too, man. That's good. Like, look, yeah, it's still like circular, though, dude. Like I would.
But now, you ready?
All right.
I can get a good angle on it here on the camera.
Oh yeah, it does look a little cropped out.
Can you see it move?
Oh, you're flexing that? Are you flexing your lat or your head?
His brain.
So there's a hole in my skull right there. Like right here, that's where the electricity hit. And like a year out of the hospital when all this was healed up, all of a sudden one day we were talking and she's like looking at my head. I'm like, what are you looking at? She's like, I don't know. I think your head just pulsed. And I was like, well, you remember in the hospital with that muscle, they would check the pulses in the muscle. I was like, it's probably just a pulse in the muscle.
God, dude, I'd have to feel it.
And then I did. I touched it and I was like, well, that's kind of soft. That's really weird. So we went to my plastic surgeon and she, like, in seconds, she was like, that's a hole in your skull. And I was like, you serious? She was like, yeah. So I went and did a CAT scan and sure enough, it's like a hole like that big in my skull.
His skull absorbed itself.
Yeah, it just disappeared.
Oh my God. Oh.
So that's my party trick. I flex it, and you can see when people people first, they look at me in public and they're like, wow, he's got scars all over. He's fucked up. Well, then they talk to me or they ask me what happened, and I take my hat off, and their faces drop. And then I do that one, and they don't know what to say. They just look at me and they're like, that's wild. And I'm like, yeah. Don't touch electricity.
That's a jolt, dude. God bless. Oh, you're alive, man. That's amazing, dude. That's one story to tell, brother. God, dog. People think I'm a badass.
You are a badass. You both are.
I think you're definitely a badass.
No, that's sick, dude. For real. I played wheelchair basketball with a dude who got shocked, but it went out. Like he lost his legs and it went out his wrist too. So it's like his arm is kind of messed up, but he's still messed up. But he lost both limbs and a lot of use in his arm. So I've never seen it go out the top though. Dang, dude, and a lib,
Yeah, it hit here. It entered my head here, and then it came out the back of my neck. And they said if it was over like a hair to the left or right, which way it was, it would have hit the main artery in my neck, and I would have died like right there on scene.
It's crazy.
You got hit with a strike from Raiden off of Mortal Kombat.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Or like, oh, you got kissed by Thor. I'm like, well, he's a shitty kisser. He fucked me up pretty bad.
Damn, that's crazy. I'm glad I asked that then. Jeez Louise, I didn't know all that.
So back to you, Zach. I mean, you don't have your legs, but there's still so much that you're able to do. And you prove it.
There's nothing that you can't do is what you should say.
Right. You are the first legless bullfighter. Tell us about that.
Yeah, she said this yesterday, and I about fucking shit myself. I was like, huh? Say it again. I said, bull? Yeah. Like, yeah. And I was like, I need to know this now.
Well, man, it started because I've been around it. I've been around, bull riding forever. So, and I was And I would do it like with my family or friends. Like if they hopped on a bull, I would help out, be a clown, like help out. But nobody ever really. I mean, I didn't ever think about putting it online or doing it for real. And then we were at the ranch, and then they were teaching like doing lessons over like about bullfights. So they had wheelbarrows out. They were chasing kids, and this one kid was kind of scared out of his mind to go in there and like get in front of a bull. And I was like, son, it's really not that scary. I was like, I'll do it without legs. And he was like, easier said than done. He made a smart remark, said some shit, fly. And I was like, all right, come on in. And then and when I was done, like everybody was like stomping their feet and they were going all like ape shit and crazy, like cowboys and stuff. And I had a buddy who was like, bro, you need to show the world this. This is like,
Yeah.
it's like you're like fast on your hands, And I was like, man, I'm all right. Like, and then he was like, man, I'm gonna get you in a rodeo. Like, I'm gonna get you in a rodeo. Let's start training a little bit for this. And I was like, all right. And sure enough, the only rodeo that would take me was a rodeo, all black rodeo on Juneteenth. Was the only
Oh my
one.
goodness.
So it was awesome, dude. I got to train with those guys, and then I trained with their rodeo clown staff. And man, they taught me so much. They would get on their knees. They would get on their knees and like act like same level as me and like show me different tricks and stuff like that. It was just really cool. And I kind of took that and ran with it until I'm actually got stepped on. I broke my hand. I don't know if you can see it. I got a scar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had a little bull step on my hand and broke it. And I went to wheelchair basketball nationals. And I broke it even more. So now it's really hard for me to like get up and moving as fast as I did before. It's quick. Really just like off the first like jump. I'm a little hesitant about myself now, and I'm scared to get back in there with a bull again.
Well, you don't need
That's
to get hurt. You've already
the
done it,
city.
lived it, experienced it. You're good. It's in the books.
Yeah, that's all it was, man. Just one, that's all it was. And I kept it from social media forever. Like when I was doing it, I kept it from everybody in my family for like a year.
I bet. I'd beat you if you were my kid.
I didn't. Nobody taught me out of it. Yeah, and then
That's the most gangster shit ever.
when I told friends and shit, they're, what the hell are you thinking? So I was like, I can't handle all that. Like whatever, I'm gonna keep it. And then I released a video and I was like, hey, this is what I've been keeping from y'all. And it was like me like in the rink with a bull, like going around them and dancing with them and stuff like that. And then that's when everybody hopped on board. Was like, dude, this is cool.
It's crazy.
Oh my God. Now you also have a record for lifting.
Yes, ma'am. Bench press record for my weight category. It's 501.5 pounds.
Incredible. It's like the both of you put together plus maybe half of me that you're lifting.
How heavy do you think I am?
It was a feat. It was a feat I was definitely proud of. I worked like I took like 2 years off of CrossFit, no, 3 years off of CrossFit, and just focused on that because like I just had a coach one day see me powerlifting, or he see me bench pressing, and he was like, "Man, like you're really strong, dude. Like really strong. Like with some right training, you could probably break some records." And I was like, "Okay, whatever." And then so my first competition I did, I think I got up to like 480, my first one.
Jesus.
How old were you?
24.
That's what I was saying. You were 10 years ago.
Young.
I was 24. And then so yeah, I ain't done any comps at all, any powerlifting comps since I was 25, just because like, man, it was hard to get there. It really was like hard to get. Like I tried it 6 times on the platform, so I kept failing at it. Like I would do it in training. I would do it like 2 or 3. I mean, not like reps, but I would do it like 2 or 3 times in training, like 500. And when it came to competition time, I would just fold, like choke. And I laying on my chest. I couldn't got the strength. Then my judge had a mess up one time, and she didn't tell me a down command. So it was like everything going against me, and I really was about to stop. Like I was like about to be like, this ain't for me, man. I don't want to do this shit no more. It's kind of like hurting my joints and everything. But then I thought, like, I was like, dude, like, if I had a kid and I told my kid, like, if you fall down 6 times, get up 7, I was like, what kind of man would I be if I didn't at least try this one more time saying that, So I totally dove in and committed the last time, like, put my diet in check, started sleeping on point because my sleep was so sporadic. And I committed to it and finally got it up. Then it seemed like directly after that, people were like, "So when you go do 5:30?" I was like, "Oh God, I just want out of here, man. I don't want to do it no more."
I
That's
know
insane.
that this is kind of a personal question, and I'm sure you get asked this. What
Right.
do you weigh?
I'm right now. I'm 155, 156.
Okay. I mean,
Yeah,
those arms are fucking big.
I probably got the upper body of like a 220, 230 pound guy. You know what I
That's
mean?
yeah.
Yeah.
Like I should have been really tall. I got really long arms and like a torso and everything, but just missed no legs. So I mean, I kind of hit the lottery for being an amputee and having the upper body I have. I got like a short upper body but really long arms. You know what I mean? So it helps me out, especially when I was crawling around as a kid. Because I mean, like I said, I got everywhere on the skateboard and just crawled around. It helped me out a lot, just like being like kind of built for,
Yeah.
kind of built like a chimpanzee.
So, what do you have to say for kids who are amputees or become amputees unexpectedly? What a- what do you want to tell them about their mental strength getting through that traumatic time in their life? Do you remember any of it? I mean, obviously you had surgeries all your whole childhood into adulthood, but do you remember being 2 years old going through this?
I remember being real young and like just being in body cast all the time, like being in the hospital. Like so, even from my like early memories are always from like hospitals and stuff like that. But man, I always kind of. I mean, I guess I was a kid going through it too. Like so, it's really hard for somebody that just lost their limbs as like a teenager or in their adulthood already to relate to what because they're like, man, you wouldn't know anything because of blah 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 blah. And
No,
I
we
kind of
talk about that. Let
yeah,
me stop you for a second. John went through this as an adult, and you were saying, you feel so
I feel terrible for all
empathetic
right, well,
for children who have to grow up like this.
so for since this happened to me, this is 5 years, it'll be 5 years.
Yeah.
And every year, not the first year, but the second year we started, we have collected and donated toys to Jackson Memorial Hospital, who saved me down in Miami. And we do that because every year they throw a big party for Christmas for all the kids who are there at the hospital who have been burned that were at the hospital at one point, and they give them toys. Their siblings, their family, they give them stuff, and it's
It's
beautiful. But it kills me because these children are burned, and I mean, some of them are severely burned.
but they're amputees as well.
They're
It's burn and trauma.
yes, trauma, some, yeah, exactly. It's trauma. And to see these children that are burned, and we've seen multiple black children that have been burned, and when they scar, their pigment is now white, so they have blotches and scars, and they have to grow up through schools. And that's the first thing I think of is these poor kids have to go through schools, and they're just going to get picked on and bullied because kids today are ruthless.
ruthless,
Our
dude.
children, our daughter, she is great kid, but the things she tells us that go on in middle school, half
No,
that shit didn't happen in high school when I was in high school. And it's
kids are ruthless, man.
they are. They're just that is the world today. It's
Yeah,
people want to find something to talk shit about. They want to pick on somebody, and it's terrible to see these children that have to go through this now.
it is. It's like a bit. Yeah, to answer your question, it's like a bittersweet thing when I see kids and like amputee kids because like in a way I just want to take them underneath my wing and coach them and be like, okay, I'm about to show you all the cool shit about being this amputee. Right, and like and how to get through it and yada yada, because it's like not something you could just say to them that's going to like get them, because like man, there's so
Yeah.
much questions like and then like a lot, I don't know, it's like a lot of, to be honest with you, if I got like if the amputees I talked to over the years, the probably the most question I get, they're curious about what their sex life is going to be like. you know, about males, even females. Like a lot of time, they're like, you know, how like what's sex like this, you know. And I'm like, don't worry, dude. It's going. I was like, dude, you had sex on your knees, right? I was like, there you go, weirdo. Like, there you go. You're just a little shorter now in some departments, you know. But that's a big one. That's a big one that people have. Like, is sex, you know, is sex weird? This and that, blah blah. I was like, well, if sex is good, it's always a little weird. I was like, so there you go, you know. But I used to be that way too. I used to have to like, I remember like covering my legs right after because I didn't want her thinking like, oh God, I just slept with the legless guy or stuff like that. You know me? So I remember having insecurities when I was younger too. So I can only imagine what they're going through like tenfold, having it happen to them later on in life, because it's hard for me to relate to it because I've had to grow up and I had to adapt so fast. So it's like, man, it's really hard for me to like relate to somebody that's just been amputated, especially like later on in life. If they're like already a grown ass man or a grown woman, then it's really really hard because they've already figured out life walking. Now they got to do it all over again a different way. But I'm mainly just there to tell them like it is possible. Like you're looking at what's possible. Like, you know, we're in the same boat. Because I might have been doing a lot longer than you, but we'll get you here. You know, and you're going to have bad days, but I promise you, the good days always outweigh the bad days, and you're going to need help along the way. Don't be too proud to ask for it. You know, don't be too proud to ask for help because like everybody needs it every now and again. Even the toughest sons of guns, you know, going to need it. I would tell them that, and it's not about the hand it's not about the hand you're dealt. It's about how you play your cards. You know.
That's
Like,
awesome.
because like I go to hospitals and talk to people that just lost their limbs. A lot of times it's military men, shit like that. And I always give them this speech right here. I'm like, dude, I've talked to a lot of people in your situation, a lot. And I'm like, and it's always two routes that people can go on. And I was like, I'm gonna go over both of them with you. And I was like, route number one is you could be bitter and mad at the world because you have every right to be. I was like, man, you got a lot taken from you, man. You're going through a lot, right? I understand what you're going through. Like, it sucks, you know? I was like, you could be mad, bitter, mean. I was like, you know, and to say no to this rehabilitation or you know, like toss it to the side, whatever. I was like, but I promise you, all that does is hurt your family more than it'll ever hurt you. I was like, it hurts the people you care about. It hurts your loved ones. I was like, they see you like that. And then all of a sudden, like, you know, it sucks. I wouldn't suggest it. I was like, route number two, you buy in. I was like, you buy in. You commit to therapy. You commit to going to PT. I was like, you bust your ass. You want to get better on a daily. I was like, then you're going to be the superhero that you probably already were in front of your family, dude. I was like, which one do you want to do? I was like, honestly, before I waste my time, which one do you want?
I love it. I
Yeah.
love it. And I was gonna say, I saw pictures of you and your mom, you know, as a child and growing up, and I bet you she is so fucking proud of you. You as
Oh,
her son, everything you've overcome.
she's my biggest fan. I'm my mama's boy. I talk to my mom every day. Like, I call her probably twice, 3 times a day, and I get pissed when she doesn't answer.
I love it. I love it. You are just such an incredible human being. Like,
I appreciate it. I really do.
you really are. And I want to touch base before we let you go here soon. Not only on your social media are you doing push ups and pull ups and benching 500 pounds, but you are also really fucking funny. And I was dying at the video of you doing ET on your friend's bike.
Oh my God, wasn't that the coolest? That whole trip was just a bros getaway. Real quick, we just went to a concert, and then they were getting around, and I had my skateboard. Like, if you look on my other friend's bike, he has my skateboard in the basket. And then I hopped in his basket. I started doing like ET, and man, we were filming that all through Austin. We ended up not even going to the concert, just doing that all day.
That's
Oh my
hilarious.
goodness. Fucking nuts.
It was fun,
So,
Go ahead.
yeah, just it's hilarious. I just wanted to ask you one last question. I mean, you've done a lot. what is there that you still want to do?
Ooh, what's left that I still want to do, like physically wise?
Yeah, it could be anything. Are you going to retire in your gym training, or do you have bigger motivational speaking plans?
I definitely want to get that bigger, but I would be lying to your face if I said I didn't miss owning a gym, and I want to open another one eventually, pretty soon. Honestly, because like it really is. It was just fun to me. It wasn't even like working. It was like I go and hang out with my buddies all day long, kind of, you know. And I do miss the community atmosphere. And I had a cool ass gym, y'all. If y'all could have seen my gym, I had all types of cripples just in my gym chilling and not even working out, just chilling in the gym because it was the place to hang out. You know what I mean? I miss that a lot. And then honestly, I was so young that I didn't see how I was changing people's lives at the time. You know, I didn't realize how what we were doing and what it was worth to people until it was gone. And I was like, wow, man, you know, like I really do miss like making a difference in people's lives, especially my adaptive athletes, because I've had some off the wall adaptive athletes. Like, I don't know if y'all ever watch any Cripple Couch Talks. I had a podcast at one time, so y'all gotta go check out a couple episodes.
I definitely have to go
Definitely.
check it out now.
Where is it?
It's called Cripple Couch Talk.
Is it on YouTube or?
Yeah, YouTube, Spotify, everywhere. Yeah, it's back. I mean, it was a couple years back, but we had some of my clients that I trained as guests, and one of them was even a girl that was 20 years old, and her mom shot her in the back when she was sleeping, and she got paralyzed like that.
Jesus.
Oh my goodness.
Dude, there's some evil ass stuff in the world, man.
There is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
By the way, shout out Jesse. Hope you're doing good. Miss you.
shout out Jesse. Just incredible. Like, I hope that you don't stop because, like you were saying, you didn't realize what you were doing back then, but now you're older and now you have much more experience under your belt. You've done more things that you can share with people.
Absolutely. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, and I really do. I think I got the experience to kind of keep it up and afloat and do the motivational speaking thing too. Before I was just trying to do everything on my own without a team really and got overwhelmed. You know what I mean? I just got overwhelmed when I was a kid and I was trying to put too much on my plate. But now I feel like I could like make it last and create a cool ass gym people want to come to.
That's awesome. Well, we wish you nothing but the best in
No,
everything you want to do.
I can't wait to see more episodes from y'all guys. Like I said, I watched the one you sent me on the email, and golly, dude, it's crazy. I really enjoy it. Like we got like an hour, 10 minutes in before we like finally turned them off.
That's awesome. Well, I can't wait for the world to see you. I mean, everyone who doesn't already know who you are, they should. Everyone needs to know who Zack Pitbull
Definitely.
is.
Yes.
I appreciate y'all. Thank y'all for having me on. I really enjoyed it.
Well, you have 2 new friends here in South Florida. If you ever come down, please let us know.
Yeah.
Iguana hunting. I want to go to Florida, go iguana hunting.
Iguana hunting.
Everybody says that.
God,
we don't
man.
even do that. We just watch them crawl everywhere.
They're
That-
everywhere.
that's
They're
the-
everywhere.
I follow some dude on Instagram who iguana hunts, dude. We got a dog who jumps off the boat and I'll like shake him.
The pointer?
Yeah, he's got a
The dog?
dog
Yes.
for iguanas.
Yes, that dude's gangster. But there's guys that have businesses here. Like they have a truck, iguana killer, or whatever it is, and they drive around and that's what they do for their living is they shoot iguanas.
I say we go on that. We're like we do that together, dude. Only 3 ears and 2 legs allowed.
I love it. Oh my God, I'll be the cameraman.
Let's do it.
Have a good one. Nice talking to y'all.
Have a
You
good one,
too,
man.
Zack. Thank you.
Y'all.